You're listening to the Accountant Hacks Podcast, Episode 2.
Homies at Deloitte, E&Y, and KPMG. I be big four pimping up at PwC. Got homies at Deloitte, E&Y, and KPMG.
Welcome back to the podcast. Thanks for listening. Thanks for giving me some feedback. And thanks for everybody for giving me encouragement to keep this going. What I think I wanted to talk about for this second episode is the topic of leaving the Big Four, quitting the Big Four. When should I quit? When's the ideal time to leave? That's a question that went through my head probably every day since I started at the Big Four as the experienced hire. I just couldn't wait to quit and leave because I had already known, being a bit older in the audit game, that audit wasn't my end game. There was no way I was going to stay in public accounting. But I made the mistake of leaving too early for a exit opportunity that didn't really pan out to be anything that I really wanted to do. And so I think this is a topic that's near and dear to my heart, especially, after I took the job, I ended up quitting and boomeranging back to another firm for just a busy seasonal job. So you probably don't want to do that, and you probably want to plan things out a whole lot better than I did. Now, the first thing to know is that there really isn't a magic number of when should I quit the Big Four. Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? Is it 5 years? Well, the general standard is between 2 and 5 years is probably the best time to leave public accounting, where you're going to get your biggest return. But I would argue that in some cases, on an individual basis, you can't really follow that general advice. My best advice that I always tell people is, for the most part, for most sane, rational human beings, having a little more public accounting experience is never going to really hurt you. And when I say that, these are usually people who are associates or seniors and are like, how many more years do I need to put in? When am I going to quit? It's usually not senior managers asking for career advice on when they should quit the firm. Odds are doing an extra year in the grand scheme of things is actually really not going to hurt you or harm you. But part of the reason I advise people to, stick it out as long as they can until actually they really can't stand it anymore is that people get stuck in this mode where they make really, really bad exit decisions and they listen to scummy recruiters who are really the equivalent of the used car salesman of the HR world. I can just tell you so many awful stories about recruiters, both me being a candidate, me trying to hire people, getting the runaround. The best way to look at them is really like real estate agents where they're trying to fit, one party with another party and close the deal. That's their job. They're closers. Anyway, the first question you really got to ask yourself out there in public accounting land, and I know most people are young, they haven't really given their long-term careers, much of a thought, but try to take a pause and just think about where you want to go, because there really is no magic number of years of public accounting that's going to make you the optimal candidate for every single position in every single industry that you could possibly go to. For example, if you want to work in tech, don't go into FP&A at a healthcare device company. I mean, this advice sounds so simple, but I'm just amazed at, certain opportunities that people jump at just to get out of busy seasons. Recruiters are going to prey on this. They're going to prey on your emotions. They're going to try to convince you that this is a golden opportunity. You need to, jump on this. This is a great Big Four exit opportunity, and it's going to accelerate your career. Well, 9 times out of 10, that's complete bullshit, honestly. For me, it's that I put up with 4 busy seasons of public accounting, and after that point, you've pretty much gotten all you really need to get out of it before making an industry exit. If industry really is your goal. Now, when you say industry, you've got to really know that end game. When you say industry, is your ultimate goal, say, being a controller at a Fortune 500 company? Well, I'm here to say that if you exit as a senior in public accounting, you're probably not going to end up as a controller at a Fortune 500 company. A lot of those people are direct exits out of public accounting in the Big Four, believe it or not. Usually probably senior managers somewhere at that level. Maybe your goal is to be a finance director at a nonprofit. Well, that comes with its own caveats. Or maybe you just want to be a technical accounting nerd and you want to get into SEC reporting or be a technical accounting manager or director. Well, those kind of jobs would probably benefit from having more public accounting experience. In fact, my exit opportunity out of public was an SEC reporting role. My feeling, I didn't really like it, to be honest. I remember the hours being, during filing season just as long as public accounting, with enormous gaps between quarters and an enormous gap after year end, where there really wasn't too much to do and you're given mostly BS assignments. I mean, I remember, I think one task I had was about non-controlling minority interests and making a PowerPoint about the change from presentation in the mezzanine section now to the statement of changes in equity. I mean, if you got a real hard-on for technical accounting, I mean, I guess SEC reporting would be the way to go. You're going to learn all kinds of useless minutia. Well, to be fair, not all useless, but that specific topic is just really like a presentation issue, in my opinion. So anyway, to get back on track, your end game heavily influences when you want to exit, but also the other side of the coin is what opportunities are available. Now, I was working during the recession years back in 2008, 2009, and you probably would want to stay in public accounting if you didn't get laid off during those times because the economy is really, really bad. That would be another reason to stay longer in public accounting. But the final token is probably, how is your mental health? Are you hating life? Does every day feel like the worst day of your life? You're going to hit that point and you're going to have to, this is really on an individual basis. You've got to determine what your tap out point is. I mean, for some people, they can't hack it right away. Other people, they can suck it up for a couple of years. I mean, you ideally want to put in, I think, bare minimum 2 years. And I think if you can't really hack it as an associate for 2 years, you might want to find, I don't know, an AP clerk job or something. Now, people who fall under that category, I mean, don't take it really the wrong way. There are the exceptions. There's people who quit in 1 year, find a fantastic opportunity, and their lives are so much better. That's really the exception, not the norm. I mean, you really want to bank, I think, minimum 2 years and have your CPA finished. And unfortunately, as some of the readers on Reddit will know, I'm neck deep in that process right now. And really, I should actually be at the library right now. But I figured recording a quick 10-minute podcast for the week, it's cathartic. I enjoy it. So I needed a break from my reg studying that's happening next month. So way long overdue, but I had a ton of life circumstances as to why I didn't finish it, including about several years of temp jobs, after I quit my public accounting exit. So it's been a journey, and having a stable, permanent job with a sane boss and a sane work environment, that will help you pass more than anything. Believe me, I did not know at some points if I'd be working in the same place the next month. I saw a company that I worked for on one senior accountant contract job that I had. I literally saw the company melt down and shutter their doors virtually while I was there. And it was a very sad story. Probably a story I'm going to share down the road, the specifics. But that job was, I feel, the training grounds that really prepared me for being a manager, more so than the Big Four. And that's just because their books were so sloppy, and yeah, just people there were just way over their head. So I received the PBC list from the audit team that was going to audit the company, and it was virtually me doing 90% of that list. I kid you not. And my title was senior accountant. But I would argue that some of the areas that I worked on were probably something you shouldn't have given a senior accountant. But what I'm really blessed by is that that contract job exposed me to everything in the company. And I just soaked everything up like a sponge. And it really, really prepared me for the role that I'm in today with no risk. But I uncovered a whole bunch of stuff in that company that prompted a whole bunch of changes. And, well, eventually, everybody I knew that worked there no longer works there. I'm not there. They're still around, but company is in a much different form than it was when I was there for my short contract job. But great learning experience. Sometimes the messiest, ugliest companies are the ones where you learn the most. And that's basically where I've taken my career since then. My end game is to try to reach the controller chair, hopefully at the company that I'm at, and, just take it from there, Sky is the limit. So for everybody out there who's dealing with busy season, who's thinking, should I quit? What's my next move? In summary, you should really stop and think about it. Think about the opportunity you're taking. Don't be swindled by recruiters. Figure out your end game and figure out if that exit is going to get you where you need to go. That's all for this week. See you next time. I'm an outlaw. Quick on the claw.